I didn't want to pay thousands to have a professional install garage cabinets, and I wasn't sure of the layout I wanted. I'll show you how to do it yourself inexpensively at your own pace. Let's go. I purchased these put-together-yourself cabinets at Home Depot. I wasn't sure how I wanted these arranged, but I knew I wanted them off the floor and to not take up room for parking. I also didn't want to purchase everything at once. All these cabinets were roughly $500. If you're not familiar with these, I'm going to show you how easy it is to put these together and install them on the wall. The cabinet comes in a box inserted with all the things needed, even screws to secure these to the wall. I'll empty everything out. The directions are very clear, but I'm going to walk you through quickly. I like my rubber mallet, but you can use a hammer. Just don't use too much force. You lightly hammer in the plastic pegs. By the way, if you like the channel, please give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Once the plugs are in, there are 4 screws to each panel. I get them started by hand, then I use my trusty electric screwdriver to secure them in. This electronic screwdriver is one of my most trusted tools. I'll leave a link in the description if you're interested. There you go. They're all in and ready for the next step. Grab 2 more sides, and these are going to take the locking nut inserts. If you haven't worked with these before, there's a small arrow that needs to point to where the screw is going to go inside. When you turn this nut, it will lock the screw in. Now, once all the locking nuts are in, it's time to push these holes over the screws and plastic plugs. You can push down firmly or use a mallet and tap lightly, making sure you don't damage the edge of the wood. But at the end of the day, it's probably better to just use your weight to push it down all the way. You can see here with the arrow facing down, we're going to tighten the bolt clockwise and it will lock the screw in place. It's that easy and everything is secure. And we'll do the same on the other side. You want to make sure all the white edges are on the same side. See this rough edge and the clean white edge? You'll also know because the back will have screw holes. With the 2 sides secure, it's time to slide on the top. I wouldn't use a hammer. I would be concerned that the hammer will make some dents. The rubber mallet works with lightly tapping it, but if you don't have a mallet, use your weight or smack it with your hand. And then tighten it up. The back has these long boards that will take screws on the top and the edges. These boards will firm up the cabinet and provide a hanging point. You want to make sure they're flat and even with the back. Once everything is even, you can simply put the wood screws in each side. I got the 2 boards done on each side. Now it's time to do the back. Make sure everything is even on every side, and the kit provides you with small nails to hammer the back on with. I like to do one side and then do the opposite side so nothing moves. When nailing, you need to make sure you're in the center of the wood frame so you don't put a nail through exposing on the other side. Also, you have to watch out not to nail into the screw because obviously the nail won't go through, so offset it a little. There you go, all scattered around it evenly. There's still a front door to deal with, but I'll do that last so it doesn't get in my way for hanging. And I'll be putting this up alone by myself, so I don't want something flapping around. One of these days, I'll ask for help. Now I'm going through to find the 2x4s on the wall. I really like this magnet level. I've had good luck with it. I'll also leave a link to this in the description. I'll take a little piece of tape and mark where the beam is at. I'm going to get one screw started since I'll have to hold the cabinet with one hand and secure a screw with the other. The trick here is to have no or very little gap against the other cabinet. This can be hard if the walls aren't straight. Once I get the first screw in, it will hold the shelf up, at least on this smaller cabinet. My walls were not straight and there was a gap, so I used a spacer to bring this closer and lessen the gap between the two cabinets. That tightened it up. Now the other screws will be easier. I'll make a guide hole a bit smaller than the screw and make sure it's the same length. Drill 3 more holes for 3 more screws. There you go. All 4 screws are in and this is secure. One of the things I forgot to do is put the screw plugs in to hide the screws. It just gives it a cleaner look. This is easier to do when the cabinet is not on the wall. Also, here I used a hammer because the mallet scuffed up the wall with the black rubber. Still, just tapped lightly. Now, the door has these hinges that fit right in. And there are already guide holes and screws in place for the hinges to attach to the cabinet. I'll attach these real quick, and the door is on. The door can also be adjusted further out or closer with these screws. The cabinet comes with a handle, and it just takes 2 screws. The last item to put up is the adjustable shelf. The kit came with plastic inserts to hold it up with pre-drilled holes. Project done. I really like these because I installed them as needed and it was quick and easy. They turned out to be pretty strong. I have full paint cans and heavy tools in these and they're holding up. I hope this video was helpful. Don't forget to subscribe to be alerted for more content and give me a thumbs up if this was helpful.